Keisha Unfiltered here. Thanks for joining my channel and welcome back for those who have already subscribed. If you have not subscribed, if this is your first time, welcome. Subscribe to my channel, like and share because this content is wonderful. And not just wonderful, but much needed right now in our workforce. Not only that, also for spiritual growth. If you're looking for spiritual growth, if you're looking for ways of praying for situations, your children, please visit the content on my page. As for now, I just want to state, yes, I have not been here in a while. I have not produced videos in a while. There's reasons for that, but I am back and better. I am so excited to share this new content, this new idea of what's going to take place now. Definitely going to be like a podcast situation going on. And I am going to share with you all a new series on my channel. The new series is called Work the Workplace Righteously. Yes, a phenomenal series and good content that is worth listening, worth sharing. So listen, before we go ahead and get started, let me just pose this question. What has been the worst corporate culture that you've ever experienced? I have three off the top of my head and I can definitely share because I've been in several different cultures, horrible, good, not so good, okay cultures. And so I've also had the experience of being in the workforce since I was 12 years old, and maybe some of you have been in the workforce longer than that, but I've been a continual cycle of being in workforces, cultures where I stuck to probably one career. It has been administration, it's been higher education, then it went to higher education. And so I've been in different cultures and I've had a little experience, and I can state that my experience resonate with many of you. And so we're gonna go ahead and share that. I'm gonna talk about that. So let's move right into it. So the three that I know that are most common and what I've experienced, the first one is high employee turnover rate. That can happen anywhere, but when you start to, it's a true indicator for you to know whether you should should you invest, because you are employed at will. So should you invest your time being a part of a culture where you've noticed, you've seen through, you've heard through Glassdoor, Facebook, or different recruiting sites where people are commenting on the companies that they work for. And it's good to read those because they give you a little bit of background on what has taken place. And when you see that something is common, then you see, okay, this is a culture that's there and it's probably not going anywhere. Okay, so high turnover rates are true indicators that a culture is bad at a company. The next thing is employee incentivizing issues. When you have top performers and you are rewarding them with over assigning tasks rather than incentives, this is bad. This is why a lot of top employers are running. A lot of top employers are being drove away from cultures because they're not validated or valued. And so often, I just hope people get to know this, and different corporations get to know this, that many people don't leave a company, they leave bad management. And that brings us to the third: bad management and bad reputation. When you are just entered a new company, and let's say you're part of a department and you're walking in the hallway and you're greeting someone and someone say, hey, how you doing? This your first day here? You're like, yeah, and they're like, well, what department you work in? And when you mention that name, they give you a look and you are like, oh, what was that about? And you don't ask. So you decide to carry on by your business, right? But then the next day, you meet someone new and someone still, you guys have that introductory conversation and they ask you the same questions. What department you work in? And you mention it and they're like, So when that happens, you need to figure out what's going on. And it could potentially be a bad reputation for either a high turnover rate, bad reputation for bad management styles or management. And also, it's again indicators when you start seeing employees leaving left and right out of the department. Those are true indicators. I'm telling you that you will see, that you need to take heed to and to notice. So those are my top three. What are yours? Well, not even top threes, but what are the worst corporate culture you've ever experienced? And can you share that in the comment of this video below? I'll be happy to read. I'm excited to read and also comment. I'm no expert in any field or anything. It's just that here is the thing. The purpose of this content, it is not just a series, but it is a movement for Christian women and men to own the space that they've been appointed to not drift from a space because they are uncomfortable, because you notice judgmental things that are going on in the country, or you notice inequality. Not telling you to move from those things, but based on the space considered, I want you to start thinking, and this is what the Lord has shared with me, to start thinking of the space as a mission field ripe for harvesting, affecting godly change right where you're planted. This is the true purpose of this content in this series, and I'm excited to share every episode with you every step of the way. And we're going to learn and grow together spiritually, because you need to understand that it's just not the person that you're up against, your boss or coworkers. There is something bigger and darker. There is a demonic force. There is, again, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, dominions. We're wrestling against these things, and it's forever present now in our society. Do you not see it today? I sure hope that you do, because it is present evermore now than it has ever been. And so we're going to tackle a few of these things that have been going on, and that you probably had no space to talk about it. But you've always, mentioned it to your family, your spouse, your friends. You've had conversations, and you're just like, girl, I'm just trying to figure out, or man, I don't know what else to do, So I'm happy to grow with you, and I'm happy for us to grow together spiritually and be spiritually fit and ready for a battle. This is a battle that we're facing in our workplaces, and I'm excited to be on the journey with you. Okay, now, so that's the purpose of the live. So the first episode for today is called Surviving People and Politics. Surviving the PPs, people and politics. All right. So the Old Testament, let me go back to why it is important for us to start looking at every space that we've been appointed to as a mission field. Okay. So the Old Testament, there was this great king, and he was once a shepherd. Okay. Now, but later God chose him to become a beloved king of Israel. Do you know who that is? I'll be happy to share. That's that person, David. David, at 14, 15 years old, he was tending to sheep in the field, okay? And I'm telling you, he was able to save the flock from beasts, from lions with his bare hands. Okay, listen to that true indicator. David, maybe that's you as a sheep, as the sheep who are tending to the flock where you are. You're able to save. Remember, it's about saving souls. You're able to save someone that's in a particular space that you're in that may not know the Lord and may not be as strengthened as you are, but you're able to save them from the beasts and the fowlers, the noisome pestilence that are surrounding in that particular space. Okay, maybe you have the ability to save that because God planted you there, and you're wondering today, well, I thought that I was going to get out by then. What's going on? The question is, Lord, what is it that you need me to do? Who I need to touch? What is it what assignment are you giving me here? Because I I want to be out. I can't be out. There's no open door. Only you have the access to open the door for me. So I know that you want all things as good. Good and perfect things come from the Lord. Remember that. God wants the best for you. But these are things you have to ask, okay? And so because in those moments of David protecting those flocks, he had Jehovah God as his backup. Do you understand? This man was making songs of praises and to God, and they were echoing through the mountains, my God, and the fields. And the intimate relationship between David and God was not like no other. We know that. So imagine you being in this field, okay, full of beasts and bears, lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. Okay, you being in this particular space and you know what's going on. Imagine you still giving God praise right in the center of it all, and God as your backup. Okay, so listen, I just want to send that introduction to you, and I don't want you to miss out on the episode because it's coming up next. Look for the first episode called People and Places, the PP, and I'm excited, and I hope that you are on for the ride. See you soon. Bye.